Hello everyone and welcome back to Whale's Tales. I'm your storyteller, Miss Whale, and together with the help of my little friend, the illustration fairy, we're going to tell you a story. Today's tale is How the Camel Got Her Hump by Rudyard Kipling. Do you remember when I did How the Whale Got His Throat? Well, this is another of his Just So stories. Make sure you keep watching right until the end of the video and I'll let you into a special secret. Now, I'd better get ready for the story because it takes place in the desert. Now, this tale tells the story of how the camel got her big hump. In the beginning of years, when the world was so new and all, and the animals were only just beginning to work for the humans, there was a camel. And she lived in the middle of a howling desert because she didn't want to work. And she was a bit of a howler herself. So she ate sticks and thorns and tamarisks and milkweed and prickles, most excruciating idle. And when anybody spoke to her, she said, "Hump." Just that, and no more. Hump. Presently, the horse came to her on a Monday morning with a saddle on her back and a bit in her mouth and said, "Camel, oh camel, why won't you come and trot like the rest of us?" "Hump," said the camel. So the horse went away and told the humans. Presently, a dog came to her with a stick in her mouth and said, "Camel, oh camel, why won't you fetch and carry like the rest of us?" "Hump," said the camel. So the dog went away and told the humans. Presently, the ox came to her with a yoke on her neck and said, "Camel, oh camel, why don't you come and plough like the rest of us?" "Hump," said the camel. So the ox went away and told the humans. At the end of the day, the humans called the horse and the dog and the ox together and said to them, "Now, you three, I am very sorry, as it is the beginning of the world and all, but that camel thing in the desert must not be able to work, otherwise she would have been here by now. So we are going to leave her alone, and you are going to work double time to make up for it." That made the three very angry, what with the world so new and all, and they held a palaver and an indaba, and a punch-a-yet, and a powwow at the edge of the desert. And the camel came along, chewing on milkweed, and laughed at them. Then she said, "Hump," and went away again. Presently, the djinn in charge of all the deserts came along on a cloud of dust. All djinns travel this way, because it is magic. And she sat down to palaver and powwow with the three. "Djinn of all the deserts," said the horse, "is it right that one should be excruciating idle, what with it being the beginning of the world and all?" "Certainly not," said the djinn. "Well," said the horse, "there is a camel in the middle of your howling desert, and she does not one stroke of work." "Is that so?" said the djinn. "And what does she say about it?" "She says, 'Hump,'" said the dog, "and she won't fetch and carry." "That sounds like my camel, for all the gold in Arabia," said the Djinn. "Does she say anything else about it?" "She says Humph, and that is all. And she won't plough," said the ox. "Well," said the Djinn, "I shall humph her if you will kindly wait for a moment or two." So the Djinn wrapped herself up in her dust cloak and made a bearing straight across the desert. And there, excruciating idle, was the camel, gazing at her reflection in a pool of water. "My long and bubbling friend," said the Djinn, "what's this I hear about you not doing a stroke of work since Monday morning?" "Humph," said the camel. And the Djinn sat down with her chin in her hand and began to think up a great magic. "You have let the three do all the work since the beginning of the world," said the Djinn. "Humph," said the camel. "I wouldn't say humph quite so often if I were you," said the Djinn, "or you might humph yourself." "Humph," said the camel. "I shouldn't say that again if I were you," said the Djinn. "You might find you say it once too often." But the camel said, "Humph," again. No sooner had she said it than she saw her back, which she was so proud of, begin puffing up until it was one big lolloping humph. "Do you see that?" said the Djinn. "That is your very own humph, which you have brought upon your very own self. The work began on Monday, and it is now Thursday. The three have worked for 3 days without your help. Now I want you to work." "How can I," said the camel, "with this humph on my back?" "That's made a purpose," said the Djinn. "You can live for 3 days without eating from that humph on your back, so don't you ever say that I never did anything for you. Now off you go out of the desert and rejoin the three." So the camel went out of the desert to rejoin the three and set to work. And from that day to this, the camel has always had a humph on her back, although we call it a hump nowadays so as not to hurt her feelings. But she has never caught up with those 3 days of work that she missed at the beginning of the world, and she has never yet learned how to behave. And that is the end of the tale. I hope you all enjoyed that story. If you did, give this video a like to let me know. Do you ever behave like the camel? What do you think you should do if you're feeling grumpy? Now, you did stay until the end of the video and I said I'd tell you a special secret, and it's this. I, Miss Whale, have been lucky enough to ride a camel myself. She wasn't grumpy, but she was very energetic. Don't forget to subscribe to my brand new channel and ring the bell to be notified every time I upload a new video. I hope you join me for my next story. See you next time. Bye-bye.